days. It's been a minute and a half since you guys have seen this face, and I know she looks hella tired right now, but I'm actually really energetic. Okay, so I basically just wanted to make a video because I haven't done one in ages, and today I don't really have a topic. Well, I do, and my topic is called 1 week of uni and bruh, like, cause literally bruh. But at first it was a bruh in terms of like, yo, uni's deep, but now it's a bruh like, yeah, like if we take it too deep. And so I'm just gonna tell you a bit about my week in uni. I think this video is probably gonna be like 10 minutes or something because I'm gonna have an early night tonight. I'm gonna go sleep. But I just wanted to talk first and like just, I don't know, just communicate how my week has been and what I've been learning and what God's been sharing with me in terms of university. Because sometimes we forget that our spiritual life is not just based on, oh yeah, like your spirit, it's everything around you as well. It's your work, your uni, how you communicate with people, your friendships, your relationships. So yeah, so God's been working on my perspective of my uni life. Okay, so I'm a first year medical student. Last year I was studying foundation, and now I'm a first year medical student, and it's really a privilege because 2 years ago, if you asked me, oh, like medicine, I applied and I wanted to do it, but I'm not gonna lie, like 2 years ago I didn't believe myself to be able to get into medical school, but praise God, through his grace I'm here and I'm doing something. Now my first week I was like, you know, when you're just ready to go, pumped, you're on fire, and I think everything was fine because we had 2 weeks of induction until we had this lecture. And I think it's when we had our first few days and everyone was panicking, but I was still chilled, like, yo, it's okay, I got God, I'm good. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the library because I'm gonna start studying early, whatever. So I started studying, thinking that I'd only done 2 hours, and somehow I had spent 3 hours. And I was like, sorry. So I checked the time and I thought it was 5 to 5, and it was actually 5 to 6. And that's when my panic started. But my panic only lasted one evening because thank God I went to church that night. Yeah, if God's telling you to go to church, go to church. And so, you know, I was like, hi, like, God, I just spent so much time doing this, but I got church. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to church. And pastor preached about faith. And I think it's something God's really been directing me on is my faith. And not just my faith in things that I think are possible. I like to believe that human beings have a list of impossible possibles, which are the things that seem impossible, but we're like, oh no, it can happen. Thank God, yes. But we never make our list of possible impossibles. Those are the things that are like, yo, this cannot happen, but through your faith you're like, yes, this can happen. And uni students who are Christians have this attitude, because obviously I'm not generalizing, but I've met so many people who are like, I'm a Christian, but the way you look at your university life doesn't reflect your Christianity. It's something my pastor's always on about, and it's excellence. It's the fact that as Christians, because we have God's grace and his supernatural ability, you know, we should thrive for excellence, and we should believe that we can have excellence in everything that we're doing. We don't have to do things scruffily or halfway or not up to, you know, an adequate standard because you want to show God's glory through it. God shows his glory through so many different things, and that also includes excellence, not just the other way around, which is things that are broken, but also things that people are like, wow, I can't believe you did this. And people don't have that confidence because, you know, people will be like, oh, yeah, I'm just aiming for a 2-1. What about a first? Why don't you aim for a first? Now, my degree doesn't have first and 2-1 and 2-2s because you can't say, oh, I'm seeing a 2-1 doctor, I'm seeing a first doctor. But it does have, you know, it's still a difficult course, and a busy one, as a matter of fact, because it involves a lot of volume. So all I was thinking is, Lord, like, with everything I have to do in my life, with everything that I have around me, how am I supposed to prioritize? How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do that? So I went to church on Wednesday, and like literally the heaviness was real, because I was like, okay, God, like, I know I'm meant to give this back to you, because I know this course is something I had a lot of self-doubt about, and now I'm like, I'm here and I'm ready to go, but I'm not ready to do it, and I'm scared, and it's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with everything else I have to do. And God just, I don't know, he just spoke to me, and I've had this verse ringing in my mind for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, it's be strong and immovable. Work enthusiastically for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is useless. Be strong, or I'd rather be firm and immovable. And it's like, be firm, like fix your feet down into God's solid ground. And don't be shaken by all these things that seem like trials that will cause you anxieties. Don't allow them to push you down from where you are. Like, God's already secured you where you are. And I think it's that idea that ever so often we make uni our lives. I know so many people who are like, uni is their baby. Like, without uni, it's like they don't have a life. And that's not how it should be. We were all made individually. Yes, it's a part of you, and the experiences and skills you learn from it is meant to shape your identity into someone closer to Christ. But at the same time, that is if it's in God's will. But at the same time, it's not your life. If you didn't go to uni, you'd still be whoever God wanted you to be if that was God's plan. The plan doesn't make God. God makes the plan. So it's not, oh, I'll go to uni and then God will use me. God's using you, and then he's going to put you where you need to be. And sometimes you might be in uni and you're meant to be there, but you don't feel like God's moving you to do something. Maybe you're not asking the right questions, or maybe you're not putting yourself in that position where you're like, yo, like, God, I'm actually here so you can pour into me, not just because I want to be a rich businessman when I grow up. And I think for a while I lost a lot of vision for my course, because I was like, I really want to do this. And I've always had this passion for people and just pouring into people in different ways. But I think I lost that vision for how I'm supposed to use medicine to do something. And I think that's when God really showed me, like, this course is so social. It's so up to date in terms of research. It's so up to date in terms of reaching out to people in different communities, different diseases. Like, the way you can combine your spiritual life in terms of being a servant. Like, just these past few weeks, having to deal with so many different people from so many different parts of the country or parts of the world even, because my course is international, just alone has made me grow in patience, in tolerance, because there's some people you're like, yo, but just I don't know, it's just really just, I can see myself building in character because I'm constantly asking God where I need improvement. And I think that's just what we need to do with our degrees, instead of just looking at it like, oh yeah, this degree is for me to just make some moolah and go. Like, you're meant to be influencing people as you're going. And one of the best advice I've received from starting medicine is, don't take yourself too seriously. A lot of people take themselves too seriously. Oh, look at me, I've got 3 brains. Okay, cool. But then what are you doing with your 3 brains, Because it's like the fact that, there's this question my pastor asked on Wednesday: is your faith a noun or a verb? Your faith and your ability, is your ability a noun or a verb? You have 3 brains, okay, but what are you doing with them? And I don't mean academically, I mean in terms of life, because you could die tomorrow, but what have you done? And that doesn't mean you have to go building wells in Malaysia or something. I don't think Malaysians need wells anyway, but let's just say that. But just one person every day, you could literally, just a smile on your face alone is enough, to just build someone's day. I think one thing I like is my course mates were like, why are you always laughing? And I'm like, why should I have to take myself so seriously because I'm a medical student? I know I have to be professional, but why do I have to be like this? Oh, everything is about my books. Like, that's not me, and that's not who God made me. So I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do what I need to do. Other things, do your work on time, okay? The sluggard will not eat, okay? The sluggard will die from his laziness. So do your work on time. Do what you need to do and be diligent, because God doesn't just give us work to do it halfway. He gives us work so that we do it diligently. And when we do that and we show the excellence that comes out of it, we show God's glory through it, because we're like, yeah, I was motivated by this. So at the end of the degree, when you get what you need to get and people ask you, how did you get that? You say it's God. You give the glory back up. And that's something that I'm constantly learning every day. Every single morning I wake up and I have to cast my anxieties onto God. And I have to take everything that seems like stress or whatever issues, but be it at home or be it with friends or be it with anything, and just give it back to God, because I know that I can't carry my anxieties in the day, because if I do that, how am I supposed to notice someone else's and give them the peace of God through my character and my countenance? So yeah, we really just need to be reflective as Christians in the way we play out our lives, not just in uni but in work. Like when you go to work, are you a light or not? And I think that's something I'm being conscious of, not just being the one who says they're a Christian, but when you do things in everyday life, do you show kindness? Do you show love? Like today, my friend hadn't eaten lunch and I like, yo, I went to buy my chicken salad. I didn't even remember her. Like stuff like that. Like, do we remember other people? Do we really open up our hearts to really God to pour out from us as much as He can? And are we really doing what we're meant to be doing? Because if God put you in a place where He provided the finances, which you might not think is supernatural, but some people can't afford to go to university, and He provided the resources for you to have an education, who are you as a Christian to say, oh, God's going to make me pass my exam? God ain't going to bring His hand down, write your exam for you if you ain't putting no work in. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. Like, put in all you can, give your best, and God's going to do the rest. God's already done the rest. He's already ordained whatever it's going to be. Even if you don't get what you expect, it's still the fact that you're secure and the fact that you serve God wholeheartedly. Because there's something the Bible says about, I think it was Romans 12 or something, love sincerely. Is your love sincere? Is your love for God sincere? And is your love for people sincere? If your love for God is sincere, you appreciate everything He's poured into you. If you work for the Lord wholeheartedly and seek Him wholeheartedly, you do your best in everything you can do. And this isn't just for everyone. This is for me as well, because every single day I constantly have to renew my mind and retrain my heart and put it in a position where it's like, God, okay, I've done this wrong today, but tomorrow, can you please just make me more aware of all these things? Can you please help me to walk in this way that I'm aware of the fact that, life isn't just about what grades you get, but it's really just allowing God to use you in every way you can, even if you don't expect it in the way you want. So I just encourage everyone to refocus their visions. And I've got a bit of homework really for everyone, because normally I pray at the end, but I want you to get 2 friends and watch the video with your 2 friends, or share the video with your 2 friends, or summarize the video with 2 friends, and make a list of possible impossibles. Those are things that seem impossible to you, either in your academic life if you're in uni or in work, and write down what you need to do. Because if faith is a verb, there has to be a noun, and if faith is not a noun, it's a verb, there has to be an action. There has to be, okay, I have the faith and now I'm doing something. So if it's, I don't know, my friend needs to get saved, or I want to help my classmate get saved, your action is going to be that you're going to put in the effort to actually have a relationship, or just have some sort of interaction with this coursemate that gives them Christ through whatever you say or do. So I want everyone to write a list of possible impossibles. And those possible impossibles are things that they seem impossible in your life, and it could be that first, but you're like, okay, I actually want God to move in this. And I want you to pray first, pray fervently, open your hearts to God to really just speak to you as to what to write. Don't just write down whatever you want, like I want a Ferrari. That's cool, but that may not be what you get. Okay. And also write down what you're going to do to help, or not even to help God, because let's be honest, we can't do that, but to make that initial step for God to work through us. Because I was reading this devotion, and I'm still reading, called Sun Stand Still by Stephen Furtick, and he said, for the door to open, you have to put your hand on the door first, and then God will give you that push, but it's that effort of reaching. So I want everyone to write their reach out action that they're going to do in order for these possible impossibles to play out in their lives. And I've written mine as well. So yeah, that's just all I have to say. And just socialize with people, meet new people. I think that's one thing I'm trying to do. I'm terrible with names, but I'm trying to meet a range of different people in uni, because really you only get this experience once, and there's so many people out there who just need the love of Christ and just need your smile, need the heart that you're going to give them that day. And so yeah, I just really hope everyone has a blessed week. And this is just a nighttime video. I'm not even gonna edit it, I can't be bothered. But yeah, everyone have a chilled week. If you have any questions, get back to me. I'll be posting some more poetry coming up. And there's this one by my friend called Be Like You, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, look out for it, guys, and it's gonna be amazing. So yeah, have a blessed week. Make your possible impossibles. Love uni. Work hard. Play hard. Yeah, don't make it your life cycle, because it's not. Because at the end of the day, seek first the kingdom of God, everything else will be added on to you. Seek wholeheartedly, seek diligently, with obedience and with love. Bless.